Hello everyone. I know others have done this several weeks ago, but I still wanted to do this even though I'm a bit late. Last year I bought 92 albums, 72 on vinyl, 20 on CD, 12 EPs also, and 256 singles. With the singles it was far more than I have bought before, but with the albums it was less, so I'm happy that I was managed to cut down at least a bit. The previous year, 2022, I bought 9 new albums and 2 EPs of new music, only one of which, the Kirk Hammett's Portals EP, was the only non-Finnish release that I bought. This year, 2023, I bought only 3 new albums and 1 EP, all of which were Finnish. So let's start with the new ones. First one was an EP, Whistlebait Frolic Time, a 4-track EP. There was a little bit of a rumor that they would have made a full album, but they released a 4-track EP. But I'm glad to have at least this much new material from them. Okay, on to the albums then. This one, when I first heard about this, about to be released, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to buy, because I didn't know anything about this band. But then a few months later, I happened to hear that, I happened to saw somewhere, I don't remember where, but I noticed that all of the songs were written by Marko Haavisto, so I decided to buy this one. This is Marko Haavisto and Seppo Alvari band, Hylättyjä lemmikkejä. Yeah, even though it took me several months, I am really glad that I bought this one, because it's yet another great release from Marko Haavisto. Next one, I was also thinking that maybe I won't buy this. This is Pauli Hanhiniemi, Minä ja Retkue, because the previous solo album from Pauli, I didn't really like it. It was okay, but wasn't anything great. But happily, I bought this one because this one is a great improvement over the previous solo album. So yeah, very happy to get this one. And the third one was a big surprise. This is Heart Hill, The Love Circus, their first new album in 30 years. So yeah, I'm glad that they released, and I was pleasantly surprised by how accessible this album is. I was expecting, especially looking at the sleeve, I was expecting much more a difficult album, but yeah, this is a quite surprisingly accessible album. Yeah. Now, only being middle of January, there's already 4 new releases coming this year that I'm looking forward to. So, not going backwards at this point. Okay, let's move on to the favorite single purchases. I'm not saying that these are necessarily the best ones. There were so many singles, like I said, 256 singles, so it's hard to decide which one are best. But at this moment, I chose these ones. This is Sting, Why Should I Cry For You? First of all, I had never seen this single before, and finding it in near mint condition, and especially with the B-side, it's in French, Ne me quitte pas. Title didn't say anything to me, but when I listened to it, I was happy to discover that I knew this song. So if you listen to it from YouTube, who knows, maybe you know that song also. Okay, next one was also a great find. Rod Stewart and the Faces, Pool Hall Richard, with I Wish It Would Rain live version. This is a French pressing of this one. This is now actually the second different sleeve of Pool Hall Richard that I have, and I also have this without a picture sleeve. But yeah, I love this with the album sleeve singles. Inside actually isn't a French pressing of the single, but that's okay because I did buy it for the sleeve. Okay, next one was also great. I didn't even knew that this one existed. This is Faces, just titled Faces 4-track EP from the compilation which uses this same sleeve. I think this is one from 1977, including Memphis, You Can Make Me Dance, Sing or Anything, Stay With Me, and Cindy Incidentally. Yeah, great find. Next one, I remember when this one was originally released. I never saw this as a single, but I remember this song. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Love this song. John Mellencamp, Love and Happiness. On the B-side is also the same song as an LA Rock Dance 7-inch version, which obviously is awful, but the single album version is great. And as a collector, you all know how sometimes you just get some feeling that, yeah, I have to get that one. It may be nothing like a rational, it's just something that you find that you want to have it and you have to have it. And this was one of those occasions. This is Nick Lowe, American Squirm, back with What's So Funny About Peace, Love and Understanding. Yeah, I'm like half collecting Nick Lowe singles, so I don't know why it was that I had to have this one, but I just had to have it, and it took me a long time to find this one, and even more surprising was the B-side. It's credited as Nick Lowe and his sound, but it's actually Elvis Costello and the Attractions doing the B-side. And if you look at the guitar neck, you can see there's Costello reading there. Okay, let's move on to the archive releases. And two of my favorite ones were Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, live at the Wembley, 1974. I thought this was a surprising and very good release. Next one, David Bowie, A Divine Symmetry. During the last several years there's been a lot of different releases from Bowie, but so far I have only bought two. This one is being like an alternate album version of Bowie's Hunky Dory album, and Hunky Dory is my favorite David Bowie album, so yeah, I was very glad to have this one. Okay, third one. This is a band that I have very slowly been getting into. I think there was like 3 of their albums were reissued. So I decided to buy this one purely based on the album title, Love Life. This is Lush, Love Life, and if you look at the sleeve, it's like extremely 90s album sleeve. Like just based on the album sleeve, I would never have bought this album. So yeah. Hannah, the Omaha introvert, said that this is her least favorite of Lush albums, so I probably am going to buy more of Lush's albums. Okay, this one, when it was announced that they were going to release this, I was a bit like, well, am I going to buy this? But in the end, I am a big Hanoi Rocks fan, so it wasn't a big surprise that I bought this. Hanoi Rocks Oriental Beat, the real mix, 21st century edition. I've always had this original album, always loved it, never had any problem with it, but I knew that the band themselves had been very dissatisfied with the original. So now when I bought this, I listened to both of these albums back to back, and I have to say that this one is much better sounding. So if you have the original album, I highly recommend getting this one. It's much better sounding album. Yeah, just a great improvement. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's continue with this. This is the album that has been the longest time on my search list. It's been at least since 2007. I have this album on CD, but it's on 2 albums on 1 CD, and I have really wanted to get this one as an individual release. I have seen this on CD loads of times, but never with the original sleeve art. So when I saw this one being issued now on vinyl, I thought that, yeah, I have to have this. I didn't know any details at that point, but I thought that if I'm going to miss this one out, I'm going to regret it for many years. So I pre-ordered it, and when I went to buy this is Julie London, Julie is her name, I noticed two things. First one is the background color. Here it's blue, on the original it's green. And this one also includes bonus tracks. But I thought that, yeah, okay, I do have, for example, Bowie's Ziggy Stardust on vinyl with bonus tracks. So I thought that, okay, I can live with that. But after a while, I noticed that the title is here, and originally it's not down here. So with all those three things put together, yeah, I still need to get the album with the original cover, original sleeve art as it was. So yeah, still still on my shopping list. But anyway, I am glad to have it like this, but I have to get the original version. Okay, next one, also one that I searched for a few years. This is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. This has always been easy to find on vinyl, but there's always been problems. Either it's been too expensive, or it's in too bad condition, or missing the 7-inch EP. But now I finally found it with all those three things intact, also including the booklet. So yeah, really glad to have this one also. Okay, this one I found as new, but this is a couple of years old. This is Los Lobos' Native Sons. I do remember when this one was released a couple of years ago. I thought that it's a cover album. I was like, yeah, well, okay, I'm not going to. But then I found out that this is actually like going back to their roots. These are like Mexican-American artist songs covered by Los Lobos. So I got to be introduced to several artists that I never knew anything about. A couple of them I knew as names, but I hadn't heard any of their music. So yeah, it's a great one. Really great to get introduced to this type of music. Okay, then let's take like two of the greatest surprises that I found. I never would have imagined that I'm going to find this one. First is a self-released single by Kolmas Nainen, Etsikää Asseri, back with Vanhat Äijät. Yeah, the self-released single, never would have expected to find this, but one day there it was in a shop. Yeah, couldn't get it fast enough. Really happy to find this one. And the second one, I had never seen or even knew that it existed until I read about this from James Griffith's book about Squeeze, the pop music played. I noticed this mentioned there, but didn't really pay too much attention to it because I immediately realized that I would never see this one, but there it was in a shop one day. This is Jules Holland, Boogie Woogie 78 4-track EP. Really good stuff. I thought this was really good. Great find. Okay, then let's show one that this is the one that I have listened to most times during this year. I knew this ever since this was released back in 2000, but never considered buying this. But one day it was in a shop and I was like, yeah, why not? I think I have all of the others on this series now. I don't have 5. Well, I don't have 5 as an individual release, but I do have it as a part of another box set. This is Elvis Presley, Such a Night Essential Volume 6. This is alternate takes from his early 60s songs, and yeah, just brilliant. Love this. Have listened to it several times. Okay, then as this year went on, I had less and less albums on my shopping list. I was like, yeah, what do I buy? What do I buy? At this moment, I only have a few albums on my shopping list. So I decided to buy these two that I have thought about for a long time, but never really like seriously considered them. First one is Wham! If You Were There, a best of compilation. Yeah, back in the 80s, I remember laughing at them saying that in 20 years nobody's going to remember them at all. And 40 years later, I buy the compilation. It's a good pop, I have to say. And another one, I've always known just a couple of songs by them, but I have long thought that I should like get to know a bit more than just those 3 hits. So I finally bought Essential Toto, a 2 CD compilation. Yeah, always just known Rosanna, Hold the Line, and Africa. Just yeah, actually I prefer the second CD, which is the more recent or more later. But yeah, not a great fan of this, I have to say. Okay, let's move on to the biggest disappointments. I have to say that I didn't buy any albums that I was like really disappointed with. I'm going to show this one, but it's a bit wrong to call it a big disappointment because I knew before buying this that it wouldn't be something that I would really like enjoy. This is Fucking Finland, Demot 1982-1983. This is hardcore punk, and I bought this because this band later on evolved into Fucking World, and I really like Fucking World. But yeah, this is hardcore punk, so it's not really my kind of thing. A Finnish band, Lama, is all the hardcore punk that I need. I do like some of the Dead Kennedys, but yeah, Lama is basically all that I need. There are a few like okay songs here, but overall not my kind of thing. But I knew that before buying it. So the biggest disappointment of the year, I have to say, was this one. John Cougar, I Need a Lover, backed with Miami. And it's not the songs, I like the songs. It's the sound quality here, it's just absolutely atrocious. Horrible sounding single. I thought that this is some kind of a mispressing, like maybe there's some kind of a raw mix or demo version here. It sounds so horrible. And then I noticed that the sound is like 80% of the sound comes from one speaker and 20% comes from the other speaker. So that makes it like horribly unbalanced, and also there's like no bottom to it at all. It's just very high pitched, horrible sounding. Like some kind of a quality should be with any of the releases. I mean, at this point, this is German pressing, so at this point he was practically unknown in Germany, but that doesn't give any excuses to it. Okay, that's it, except for one last thing. I released my video on Rolling Stones singles 1980 to 2021. And I think it was on those comments, my vinyl bar asked me which one would be my favorite Rolling Stones single, and I said that it would be 19 Nervous Breakdown. So after that I started looking for it, but I couldn't find it. Then early in the spring I was at a small record fair, and there wasn't anything that I was really interested in. I did buy a few records just so that I wouldn't go home empty-handed from all the way. Well, it wasn't that far, but anyway, it was a bit of a travel. But this was one of the finds there. This is Jason and the Scorchers, 19 Nervous Breakdown, back with Greetings from Nashville. So I thought that, okay, if I don't have 19 Nervous Breakdown by Rolling Stones on single, I at least have a great cover version of it by Jason and the Scorchers. So, coming up to this Christmas, I didn't have much records to buy for myself. So I thought that, okay, I want something special. And so I decided to buy this one. Rolling Stones 7-inch singles 1963-1966. And this one does include 19 Nervous Breakdown. As you can see, I still haven't even opened it up yet. But yeah, I thought that this was good value for money. This includes 18 singles, and I paid less than 10 euros per single. So yeah, great. And I just heard that there's the second box set is about to be released. I think it was next month. So most likely likely I will be buying that one also. That's 1966 and 1971. Okay, that's it for this time. Hope you like this. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. Bye.